Singapore, every week, we observe major cyber attacks against organizations of all sizes, from banks, healthcare organizations to even schools. Just in October, Yahoo announced the most shocking revelation about its August 2013 breach that saw all 3 billion of Yahoo's user accounts exposed. When such an attack occurs, who's to blame? There's no denying that cyber attackers should be held responsible. However, within each organization, there is an excess of finger-pointing within the C-suite. Case in point, B Systems recently reported that 50% of IT decision-makers would blame their C-suite bosses in the event of a breach, and business leaders expect their IT department to take full responsibility for such incidents. Blame games can continue. The root cause is that both business and security teams are not aligned. They struggle to speak the same language and connect security incidents to business context to assess the business risk fast enough to make the right decisions. This is what we call a gap of grief situation, where IT professionals are interested in understanding how a breach happens and how it can be prevented in future, whereas business leaders care about the incident's overall impact to the organization. As a result of this disconnect, organizations are unable to detect and respond to the highest priority threats to the business fast enough to contain the damage. Against the backdrop of an evolving cybersecurity threat landscape, how can organizations close this gap of grief and manage cyber risk to protect what matters most? Here are the 3 steps to help bridge this gap. Business and IT need to work more closely together. First, business and security teams need to come together under a business-driven security approach. Security incidents are both an IT and a business problem. In fact, the cost of security failure is growing exponentially, with cybercrime expecting to cost businesses over $2.1 trillion globally by 2018. To create a business-driven security strategy, both teams need to align on their strategies and priorities in order to determine which business systems and assets are most critical, and where they are most vulnerable to attacks. This will help assess the risk to the business in the event of a cyber breach, and prioritize resources to remediate the situation appropriately. Risk and value are difficult to justify in security, and most IT professionals are poor at communicating both to the business leaders. Many CEOs are baffled by the prospect of investments for a breach that has yet or may never occur because of inadequate explanation of the potentially catastrophic business risks involved. They need to understand the degree of impact on business continuity, intellectual property, and reputation in an event of a security incident, among other things. This is why IT professionals need to engage with the boardroom by using relatable business language, not technical jargon, to convince the board of the value of cybersecurity investments. Likewise, business leaders must ensure that their IT departments fully understand the objectives of their business to have a clear sense of the organization's security posture as well as their security infrastructure needs and requirements.